Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Forging Indestructible Self-Discipline podcast. I'm your host, John Fontenot, and today we're going to explore a concept that might surprise you: self-compassion. Yeah, you heard that right. You might be thinking, self-discipline and self-compassion don't exactly seem to go hand in hand. In fact, most people view self-discipline as tough love, pushing yourself through discomfort and powering through obstacles. But here's the truth. Self-compassion is one of the most important ingredients in building lasting discipline. So let's dive into why being kind to yourself can actually make you stronger, more resilient, and more disciplined in the long run. Let's first clear something up. Self-discipline isn't about beating yourself up. It's not about pushing yourself until you burn out or feel exhausted. And it's definitely not about being harsh on yourself when you don't meet your goals. If we're constantly hard on ourselves for every little mistake or setback, we risk sabotaging our own progress. When we talk about self-discipline, we often focus on doing what needs to be done, no matter how we feel about it. But what happens when you fail? Or when you don't feel motivated? Or worse, when you beat yourself up because you think you're not doing enough? If you're hard on yourself, it's easy to lose momentum you've worked so hard to build. This is where self-compassion comes in. Self-compassion means treating yourself with the same kindness, care, and understanding that you would offer a close friend. It's about acknowledging your mistakes or struggles without judgment and giving yourself permission to be human. And this isn't about making excuses for yourself. It's about recognizing that you're doing the best you can and that perfection is not the goal. When you show yourself compassion, it gives you the mental space to learn from your setbacks instead of letting them derail you. When you're gentle with yourself, you're more likely to get back on track, to keep going, even when things feel tough. Because here's the thing. Self-compassion and self-discipline are not opposites. In fact, they're deeply connected. Being kind to yourself during difficult times creates the psychological resilience needed to keep moving forward. And resilience, that's at the core of self-discipline. Let me give you an example. Imagine you've set a goal to work out every morning. But one day, you wake up and you're exhausted. You skip your workout. And instead of getting back on track the next day, you spiral into negative self-talk. I'm lazy. I'll never stick to anything. I've already ruined it. But here's where self-compassion steps in. Instead of falling into that trap, you say to yourself, okay, today wasn't perfect, but that's okay. I'm human. I'll try again tomorrow, and I'm proud of myself for trying it all. By showing yourself compassion, you break the cycle of guilt and shame, which only makes it harder to stay disciplined. Instead, you allow yourself to reset and start fresh. And here's the secret. The more you practice self-compassion, the easier it gets to bounce back and the stronger your discipline becomes. So how can we practice self-compassion in our journey of self-discipline? First, acknowledge your feelings. When you're struggling, whether with a task, a goal, or your own motivation, take a moment to check in with yourself. How are you feeling? What's really going on? You might discover that you're not lazy, you're just overwhelmed, tired, or maybe even a little discouraged. Recognizing your emotions without judgment is the first step towards being compassionate with yourself. Second, embrace imperfection. Life is messy. Discipline isn't about being perfect every day. It's about making progress, and progress isn't always linear. So the next time you slip up, instead of thinking of it as a failure, think of it as an opportunity to learn. Ask yourself, what can I do differently next time? What have I learned from this setback? And finally, celebrate your efforts. Discipline isn't just about the results. It's about the process. When you make an effort, whether big or small, take a moment to acknowledge it. Celebrate the fact that you showed up, that you tried, and that you didn't give up. even when it felt hard. Remember, self-discipline is not about perfection. It's about consistency. And consistency doesn't have to be harsh. It doesn't have to be rigid. You can build a life of discipline through small, compassionate actions every single day. If you slip up or miss a goal or have a rough day, don't beat yourself up. Treat yourself with the same kindness you would offer a friend and get back on track. That's where the real strength comes from. It's not in never making mistakes. It's in how you recover and keep moving forward no matter what. If you take anything away from today's episode, let it be this. You can be both disciplined and compassionate with yourself. You don't need to choose one over the other. By treating yourself with understanding and kindness, you'll not only build a stronger, more resilient mindset, you'll also create a more lasting and effective self-discipline. So that's it for today's episode of Forging Indestructible Self-Discipline. I hope this resonated with you, and I encourage you to start practicing self-compassion today. If you found this episode helpful, share it with a friend. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss a new episode. Keep showing up, keep being kind to yourself, and keep forging that indestructible self-discipline. Until next time, stay resilient, stay disciplined, and always, always be compassionate with yourself. Thanks.